Cathix was incorporated in 2008, but Cathix at the start was incorporated as a thin film solar panel technology company. I just put this in to just show you where a mistake up front can cause big problems in the future for technology companies. At the time, thin film was supposed to expand dramatically, and Adrian Boyle, CEO, went over to the States and while talking to the manufacturers of the machines to make the thin film, realised that these machines weren't being made. So therefore, the predictions could not happen, and therefore abandoned the plan. If you see there, in 2009, the amount of thin film, its market share peaked and has dropped since, and is continuing to drop. Fortunately for Cathix, this was judged correctly, and we didn't go down that road. So what Cathix then did was bring the machine vision and the engineering skills to the energy sector. And the company looked at the wind energy, wave energy, tidal, solar, and the oil and gas. It was decided to specifically look at the oil and gas sector, and what we said was if you jump off the cliff, you have to keep building your wings as you fly down, so you don't actually hit the bottom. In Cathix, we have a range of engineering expertise, engineering software, mechanical, electronic, systems integration and test, manufacturing, and scientific know-how. All these expertise are applied to machines and manufacturing in volume. In the last company, Adrian and Mike Flynn, the two promoters, were involved in, they produced 250 million of product over 5 years, with HP as their major customer. So Cathix Ocean then was founded in 2009, and it was to bring the technologies from other industries to subsea vehicle and monitoring operations, provide hardware and software solutions for optical machine vision. The target markets were integrity, repair and maintenance, construction, and exploration and production in offshore oil and gas, also subsea observation and imaging for oceanographic and defence applications. Existing customers include subsea services companies, offshore drilling operators and oil field operators, deepwater oceanographic institutes, and navies worldwide. We have an experienced management team, and the company is held privately, and recently the company achieved ISO 9001 certificate, which is very important when dealing with the international companies. The business plan for offshore oil and gas operations, to give you a background, oil and gas offshore ROV operations are not efficient at the moment. Vessel costs are expensive. The vessel there to the right could cost up to 150,000 a day, plus manpower on top of that. Underwater vehicles need a ship and a pilot, little automation, and there's increasing demand for vessel time as oil prices increase. The risks and costs and exposure are increasing. There's aged assets in the North Sea. Some of the assets are beyond the estimated life when they were first installed. Deepwater operations as we head towards 3,000 and 3,300 metres underwater for oil wells. Environmental obligations and legislation. Cathix has developed technologies that improve efficiency and allow automation and accurate measurement from underwater vehicles. If you look at the ROV sector in oil and gas, there's around about 900 work-class ROVs in service today. But of those, there are 5 companies who own about half of them. Subsea 7 and Acergy have actually merged since this was produced. And at the time of that merger, Mel Fitzgerald was the CEO of Subsea 7, and he retired on the merger and has become an investor and director of Catix. ROV and dive operations in this sector are estimated at 17 billion expenditure annually. So if we take the different types of vehicles, we specialise in the vehicles to the left of the line, the work-class ROVs, of which there's 900 in oil and gas, and around about 300 used by military and other users worldwide, and 1,000 AUVs. The Catix products, we use enhanced lighting and imaging hardware specifically for subsea, software solutions, automating subsea ops through the application of machine vision technology. And the founders of the company have been involved in 2 machine vision companies, one of which was sold to Agilent, and the other that sold over 50 million per annum of revenue. Significant improvement in the quality and usefulness of data. There's lots of data out there. What we try and do is produce more information from the data that's in circulation. Delivery of cost-effective data storage solutions through improved data quality and smart storage techniques, and enhanced data analysis and reporting capability. Our business, subsea machine vision systems, hardware systems for ROV and AUV use. We have LED lighting, ultra-high definition cameras and lasers. And then we have software solutions for to capture and measure maybe defects in an oil line, or defects in a riser. To the right there you can see a riser, and there's an anode or a clamp that's detected by the machine vision system. Data management and survey management. The amount of data that's actually created at the moment is created by video. What we try and do is cut down drastically the amount of data that we produce, and therefore cut down the costs to the operator and the oil services company. The software solutions that we provide to subsea applications are integrity management through measurement and inspection, automation of tasks that are done today by hand or by people, and construction and drill support. One of our products is an observation sentry system. This is fully integrated subsea change detection and monitoring system. It uses ultra-low power consumption, smart data outputs, extends range and area visibility, power and data from external sources, or battery and data autonomously battery pack. Long subsea lifetimes, as discussed earlier. Integrated machine vision monitoring and measurement. We can also sense any hydrocarbons or gas, and that can be used to, as an alarm if there is a problem subsea in the oil and gas sector. Low data volume outputs we can store locally, and real-time measurement outputs. It's basically a measurement tool that oceanographic institutes can use. There's defence capabilities, and also it can be used by the oil and gas industry. The engineering group today, we have 5 different sectors within the company, and we have 25 people working for the company at the moment. We're actively recruiting another 7 or 8 at the moment, so if you know of anybody looking for a job in the sector, give us a shout by all means. A summary, what we learned as a company. Energy is a major opportunity. However, new technologies and companies need to be careful. Renewables are risky. Existing markets in oil and gas de-risk the riskiness there. Existing markets are changing and opening to new technologies. Venture funding has dried up for renewables. Don't believe everything you read. You need to question everything, and believe nothing until you have proof, as we found out with the solar panels. And test your assumptions and get the proof. Timing is key for young companies. 5-year plans need to consider how to make money. It's great to have a product, but you need to know who your market are before you actually develop the product, and not waste any money on development. A 10-year plan means you need to be watching and adapting to be ready for change with growth curves. Need to be lean and as efficient as you test and validate the idea and eventually the product. If a product or an idea fails, let it fail fast and move on. Don't keep wasting money on a failed idea. Build on the wins and always seek new wins. As you build out products, some will work, some won't, and you just have to build on the wins and let the other ones fail as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible. Offshore energy. If you had €1 million to invest in a technology company today, where would you put it? In the case of Catix, we've put the money we've received from investors into the oil and gas sector. It's by far the biggest sector to date. However, we are looking at the other sectors, and as their markets improve, we will go down those routes also. Thank you very much.